X Harper here, WWE2K20. What? Firstly, a big thank you. Thanks for coming back to the channel. If you're new to this, the last time there was a patch update, I went live and I just had this idea of having a look for myself about all the things on the game, just to see what had been updated and just to see if it had worked. So if you're watching and you're like, what's this all about? We're going to do a live video. You guys can ask me questions. I'm going to be looking at all of the comments that you leave on the channel. Just leave a comment and I will look at the problem and we'll see it all live and we'll work all this out as we go. There's a couple of things I wanted to say to start with. Firstly, I've been in the process of moving apartment with my wife. It's been a bit of a busy week for us because we're obviously moving stuff. It also means that I'm in a completely different space for filming content, and the room's a lot bigger. It makes a bit more of an echo. If you can hear audio issues, please let me know. If there's loads of echo, let me know, because I want to try and adjust the sound so that it helps you guys as much as possible to get the best quality out of this video, but it also helps me to also generate good quality video. Anyway, let's get started and start looking around. Now, the first thing I wanted to look at in the game was the creation suite. Now, for those of you who don't know, I'm a big arena creator. It's really important for me to have the arenas fixed so that I can upload all of the arenas that I've created so far, but also continue creating all of the arenas that I originally had planned on the game. If you want to see what those are, I will show you now, and then we will pick one of them to see if we can do the test. If you don't know how this works with creating an arena, I'm about to tell you anyway. Essentially, here are all my arenas. I'm not going to read them out. You can see the ones that I started with right here. So there's 8 that I've got to start, which is a really decent amount, I think, to start with. But essentially what happened with the game was that in the original, since the actual game was released, I've not been able to give you guys a good arena like I've been able to make for myself in game. And the reason for that is that all of the parts, all of the Titantron, the Minitron, everything resets its position regardless of where I place it in the custom arena. So what I'm going to look at now is we're going to take a look at one of them and show you what happens, because there should still be the problem, and then I'm going to have to try and recreate a new version of it live and see if it does the same thing again when we try and save it. Like I said, if you've got questions, ask away. Let's find out. Okay, so the good news is it looks like they've fixed the positioning to create an arena, although for some reason the circular lighting hasn't changed position, but we'll get back to that in a moment. I'm going to try and change a few things and see what happens. The first thing I always do on this is go into the visual condition, because they haven't fixed the visual condition problem. I've changed all of the visual stuff, as you can see, and that changed only when I went into the visual condition. So they haven't changed that. That's still a problem. That's still a big deal to me. It's not as big a deal, but it's still a big deal. Okay, hey, did they fix Hulk Hogan's hair? Good question. We're going to get back to that shortly. Right now, I'm just going to quickly focus on the main problem I have, and then after that, we'll get back to everything else, I promise. So let's have a look at this. So stage construction, as you can see, I've set this up so that it looks like the original Survivor Series 98 arena. We've got this in place. Okay, so now I've put that. Let's place it and see what happens. Okay, so the lights have now moved, which is great. That's fixed the light issue. Let's accept that. Let's accept this whole thing. Okay, let's save it now as it is, because nothing seems to be a problem anymore. If Evolution's theme song is fixed, or did they take it out? We'll have a look at that in a moment. Let's just go back to Survivor Series. Now, what we're looking for here, we're looking to see if the game holds everything where I placed it. Okay, so as you can see, there are still issues with creating arena. I moved the main stage construction skull, if you like, And obviously the lights moved with that once I changed it. But now that I've saved it and gone back in, all of the problems still remain. You can see that the visual condition is still there, and I have to go in order to get the visual conditioning back. And then again, in order to sort out the stage, I've got to go back to stage construction and work all that out. And I've got to basically replace the Minitron every time I want to reset the lights. Okay, I'm going to come out of this one and try one more quickly, because I have, as you guys know, I have a bunch of arenas that I like to try out. It's really important to me to make sure that everything is done the way it needs to be done. Don't worry, if you leave a comment, I am going to respond. I'm just getting this one. This is the biggest issue for me that I want to get out of the way. We'll have a look at Creator Championship at some point in the stream as well, so don't worry too much about that. All the main new features we are going to look at. Okay, so they haven't fixed this crap. As you can see, the lights have moved apparently, but for some reason the lighting still floats up here. So they've still created a disaster of a game, even though they've done this massive update. Mysterious 3 patches. The stage and trons aren't working, as you can see right here. Like, it's still floating. They fixed half of the problem, but they've still got one little problem left. Now I'm going to try and see if I can do something about that. The way that I would do that is by essentially deleting that element and then going in here and reapplying it. Sorry, I've just got to move the camera because this game is crap and it won't let me do it right. There you go. So I'm going to have to move the camera around a little bit, I think, to get this the way that I like it, but actually about this perfect. Let's leave it at that. So if we save that now, and like I said before, they've still messed up the visual condition, because you'll see in a minute that the black area is going to change a lot once I press X. There you go. So it's lightened up. It's given it the visual conditioning that I wanted. It actually looks like they've changed the visual conditioning as well, because the arena that I created was a lot lighter than this. So they've definitely changed something with the visual conditioning. I'm not sure what it is. It might be the fog that they've maybe changed, because I want that lighter than it is. I'm going to take that up to about 150. So I'm going to have to change a lot of my arenas anyway. But let's save it at that. So this is obviously WrestleMania 14. It is available for download, I believe, but it's not working at the moment. So hopefully I'll be able to change this and get it re-uploaded for everybody to download and get the right thing. Let's save it and go back in and see what happens. Hopefully everything should save and be exactly where I placed it at the end, but we will find out momentarily. Please check if the 8-man matches with cores still crash during entrances. We will do that. Told you. So there you go. They haven't fixed all of the problems. They've basically fixed half of the issue with creating arena. So the placement of the objects now works, but you're still left with this random light issue, and that's nothing I can do about that, I'm afraid. WE2K, you guys suck. You officially suck. You've fixed half a problem and left the main issue still in the game. Real dumb development. Anyway, let's get out of here. That's my bit done. I will not be creating any arenas until they fix these problems. There's no point in me doing it. I'm going to get mad at myself for it. I'm just going to be too angry at this game. I haven't played it since launch. I've done obviously a load of my creations and stuff, but I just haven't played it because it's a pile of poo. Let's have a look then at some of these things. So let's start. I'm going to do it chronologically. First comment was, did they fix Hulk Hogan's hair? Bear with me while I do this. You might have to comment and help me get through it all, because I haven't played the game, so I just don't know where everything is. I believe that if I go to Superstar, I should be able to edit everything. So we're going to have a look at Hulk Hogan's hair firstly. Let's look at one of my, because I've done a Hollywood Hulk Hogan, so I'd rather jump in and see if his hair's fixed. I doubt it. I didn't notice that the hair had been fixed from any of the patch notes. Oh, wow. So as you can see, my created Hollywood Hogan has actually reset. I hope that's not true. It looks like it's reset all of my creations. I'm just going to go back out and check this again. So there's clearly downloaded Superstars, Hollywood Hogan. I've obviously made him Hollywood Hulk Hogan. It looks like the game has reset the designs that I've done for Hogan, which is going to pee me off even more. So let's look at his name information. So all that's not changed. Yep, it's deleted. The game has deleted all of my attire stuff. Great. Good job, 2K. You've managed to delete and corrupt my data. Well done. Anyway, like I said, I haven't played the game, so I'm not really that bothered. I hope it hasn't deleted all of the videos that I created. I spent ages on those. Let's go with clothing then and just delete the hat and see what happens. Oh, again, forgive me. It's been ages since I played this. How do you delete? There's no delete option here. So it's giving me one option. There's got to be a way of getting that hat off of him. Have they taken the option of getting the hat off of him? It's saying remove the bandana. I understand what you're saying, but where do I do that? Because I can't see where it's asking me to do that. I'm going into head. Normally I would go into here and I would just press square and then it would delete the part. I don't have an option to delete. No, square doesn't work. This is me pressing square. Just so you know. It looks to me like they've removed the option to delete the part. Now, the only thing I can try that I can think of is the Mankind issue. Which is if I add a helmet. I forgot which one it is. Like I said, I don't play this stupid game anymore. And I'm probably not going to by the way it's all started. So if I accept that... Still there. I just want to find out if I can do the head glitch issue. For those of you who don't know what it is, essentially if you put certain hats on or masks, it glitches whatever's underneath out so that you can take everything else off. Where are the skull masks on this? Okay, so square works with that, just to let you know. I pressed square on the headgear, it worked fine. So what they've done, it looks like they've removed the ability to take off Hogan's bandana. That's their workaround for the hair fix. They don't want you to see the fact that there's a problem with his hair, so they've removed the option to delete it. Now, the only thing I'm trying to do right now is to find a workaround to see if I can get that thing to jump off. Okay, so they may have fixed all of these issues so that we can't work around it anymore. Let's just go and check. What I'm looking for is like this, it's like a little demon style mask. Which it looks like they've deleted from the masks because I can't see it anymore. And the point was you could add this mask and it would basically conflict with the bandana or anything below it. And it was something I did with Mankind to remove his bandana. Yep, so like I said, you can't delete Hogan's bandana. So I'm going to move on to the next one because I'm going to get very angry very quickly. The next one is, have you checked if Evolution's theme song is fixed? Or did they take it out? What? I don't know what you mean by that. I can definitely see if it's fixed. But I'm not necessarily sure what you mean by that. I don't want to save it because for some reason the game has deleted my Hollywood Hogan design, which is really annoying because now that means I've got to go back and redesign Hollywood Hogan, which I'm probably not going to do because for those of you who don't know already, this game is, there are still issues. They've done exactly what they did before. They fixed issues and then left the main problems still in the game. They're so thick. Anyway, let's have a look at these now. Have a check. Evolution's theme song. Where is that going to be? Is that going to be in entrances? Is it team or is it superstar? So, I think it's going to be in team, isn't it? By the way, if you can hear anything, I've got an issue with my PS4. It's like the rubber underneath the console is rubbing against the eject button, and so the game keeps trying to eject a disc that doesn't exist. So if you hear noises, it's just my PS4 deciding now of all times to start causing me problems. I haven't got them on the game, but I'm going to just pick NWO. See if Evolution's theme is on here. Demon King of Valor, no, it's not worth buying it. I mean, it's up to you. Like, it's not worth buying for someone like me who is a major creator when it comes to arenas. Now, bear with me. All I can hear right now is the NWO music in my ears, so I'm just going to mute it. Because otherwise I'm going to have to start shouting over music. Okay, so it at least kept the NWO entrance theme. For those of you who haven't seen this before, I have actually created alternate attires for Scott Hall and Kevin Nash and Hulk Hogan. I was going to do an NWO video. I'm glad I didn't now because the game has deleted the outfit that I created for Hollywood Hogan. Let's go to... You want the theme, right? You were saying Evolution's theme. Let's just play it with Evolution's theme. I don't know what the problem is that you had with Evolution's theme, but let's see what happens anyway. Oh, so you're saying that Evolution's music is the hardest theme, so let's put that on. I'm not sure if you... Can you guys hear the music when I play it? Like, could you hear the NWO music? There is no Evolution theme music. Am I missing something here? I mean, I like to think that I'm educated enough to know the alphabet. It should be under E for Evolution. Am I missing something? Would it be hidden somewhere else? Obviously, I can look at the Hardy Boys and see what that comes up with. The Hardy Boys is here. I can tell you that the Hardy Boys music is in the game. Yeah, Evolution music has been removed from the game, just so that you know. Yeah, the Hardy Boys music is Hardy Boys. That's the good news. The bad news is that Evolution's music has been taken out of the game. What moron has to remove it? So what it looks to me like is that, just to start with, it looks to me as though 2K, instead of fixing problems, they've started deleting the problem to try and hide it from you guys. So they're just masking the fact that they've got issues with the game. And it's like the dumbest resolution to an issue is, oh, let's just delete it so nobody knows it exists anymore. That's a really poor solution. One that shows that clearly the dev team that's working on this game aren't capable of making fixes and workarounds. It does concern me for 2K21. I know some people have... There's a couple of big YouTubers who've been praising the patch. Don't listen to them. This patch sucks still. You're still getting a game that is crap. What they're trying to do is scale it back even further to make sure that there are no issues for people to complain about. But the problem is they've removed a load of stuff that was originally in the game now, and also left some issues in that have been here since day one. Yeah, my advice would be to anybody listening, stick with 2K19. Don't buy this game. If you're thinking of buying it, just don't buy it. Buy 2K19. Stick with that game. This is a nightmare. But I am saying that from the perspective of a creator. I love to create things. In saying creations, let's go and look at Create a Championship now, and let's see what happens with this. I'm sure this is going to be fun to go through. So Create a Championship. As you know, it's been installed in the game now. They finally added it back, even though they decided to randomly take it out. Again, any questions you've got, anything you want to see that's been improved. There was an 8-man match that somebody mentioned earlier. Daston Drake said, please check if the 8-man match with Cause still crashed during the entrances. Now, what happened the last time I did that was my game crashed and I had to do a part 2 video. So I'm going to leave that one so that I can at least get a little bit of content out on this game in this video, sorry. And then I'll, after about, I don't know, another 20 minutes, let's say after we're done looking at Create a Championship, I'll go back and do some of the game crashing problems. So here we are. So far, everything looks the way it used to. The belts are a little bit more sparkly than I ever remember. I don't know what I'm doing here. You guys can tell me what you want to do. I tell you what I'll create. I have a belt that I usually create on the game, and I'll do it right now for you, and we'll see how this works. So I want all of that stuff the same. The front plate color is fine. I think I usually change this bad boy. So I'm just going to change it to the belt that I usually have, essentially, and you guys can have a look and enjoy. Actually, when I did the base setting, thinking about it, what they've done, if you notice, is different from last year. Last year, when you did the base one, I seem to remember you getting all the detail of the title. It looks like they've now deleted all of the actual details on each of the belts, which is a good idea. It just means that there's no WE symbol on the title itself. Strap design, I'm just going to change, not actually going to change the strap design, I'm going to change the strap color though, because the belt that I have is white, so I'm going to pick a decent looking white. That is way too bright for me. I want to try and get a white that kind of looks normal. And again, a bit of gold. Now, I'm doing all of this basically off the cuff, like, I'll go back and change this, but for now, for you guys to watch how it all works, I'm just going to leave it and see how it is. So this is a Universal Tag Team title that I usually create on the game. It usually gets around 2,500 downloads every time, so I feel like it's a popular design. But right now, I'm just seeing if what I can change and how I can change it. What is material? So okay, so I can. Oh, that's disgusting. So you can change all of the central bit, which is not what I want to do. So what I want to add is, oh dear, look at that. For some reason, can you see the little issue above the star? I think I've seen somebody mention this in one of the videos I was watching, where they basically said that they haven't, I mean, this is a mess. These look like they're made out of plastic. What is that all about? Oh dear, there's a square around it. What the heck? So as you can see, clearly Create a Championship. We knew it had its problems, but by golly, look at that. You can't even read what it says. Who designed all this crap? Oh, please no. Please don't tell me that it's lost all its detail. What the flip is that? Okay, so clearly this doesn't work. They shouldn't have even added this. Look at the trash that they've put in. So these reliefs are now unusable anyway. Some of it is usable. That's the good news for some of you. For the rest of you, I'm sorry. Anybody who likes creating championships, I mean, I don't know whether this looks so bad. The image quality looks dreadful. Oh my gosh, what the heck have they done? Like I said, I don't know if it's just me. I don't also understand. You can see the side plates here. Look at the pixeling that's going on around the edge of the circle. This is the most trash looking thing that I've ever seen. I wouldn't expect, and I've been critical of PlayStation 2 complainers, people who say that, like, oh, the graphics are like PS2. I've been critical of people who say that, but I'm telling you now, this actually looks like PlayStation 2 level imported graphics. This is ridiculous. The belt itself doesn't look too bad. I can sort of let it slide that it's a little bit pixelated. The reason I'm using this, by the way, is because this is the part that I usually use for this title. So I'm going to, like I said, I want to build it the way I would normally build it. I'm just absolutely disgusted at how bad it looks. Now, let's see if changing the material helps at all. Changing the material makes it look better, but it obviously doesn't look like its original metallic self. And if I go to default, it looks, you just get this weird look. So I guess if you want a metallic look, you're going to have to go with steel or something else. Jeez, this looks bad. They didn't know what they were doing with this game, did they? Between matte and vinyl, I see absolutely no difference. I agree with you, by the way. The WR, I agree. Yeah, Javier Tate, I agree with you 100%. I really feel like... they usually do 6 patches or 7 patches per game. This is now mysteriously, and I'll explain this later, I understand why they've done so many updates in one go. Instead of releasing periodic updates that don't address the issues, what they've done is they've addressed all of them in one big go so that they're hoping fans will be appeased. The problem is, if you don't see it already, there are still loads of problems with the game. It still looks like a mess. I'm personally disgusted at it. I'm not even going to create championships in this game. That's how bad it looks for me. It doesn't look the way that I want it to look. My gosh, it's disgusting to look at. It's actually to the point of being offensive to me now. Because like when I create titles, and I'm just going to do some quick stuff here. This is the sort of belt I usually create on the game, and it's a WWE Universal Tag Team title. It doesn't look like this. It looks a lot better in previous years, but unfortunately this year is trash, and so they've absolutely killed it. Hi Carmilla. Thanks for joining. Like I said, if you've got questions, if there's specific things you wanted to see fixed, let me know. I'm not going to mess around with Create a Championship too much. It's an absolute joke to me. What I do like, and I'll give them some credit for this, some of the textured finishes now on the metallic, on the images. So for example, I used one on those dual Roman helmets. It looks a lot more textured. The crocodile scales actually look like crocodile scales now. But some of them just don't even work at all. So it's sort of like, as usual with them, they seem to break something and then... They seem to fix something and then break 3 other things. It's just... I don't understand how they're doing this. I genuinely feel like I would do a better job if I was to try and fix this game myself with... basically no knowledge of how to code or do computer games and all that stuff. It's trash. The lighting create arena doesn't work. I've already tried it. It's broken. It doesn't work. Do not listen to people saying that it's fixed. It is not fixed. I'm actually going to right now tweet it because a lot of people have been saying that there have been announcements saying this stuff is fixed. So hold on with me. If you follow me on Twitter, you'll see the tweet that I'm about to put out. So, just seen a tweet here from the SmackDown Hotel. They've said that the random character select button is back. Changes to the DLC movesets now save, and you can now add more than 10 custom logos to create a superstar. Assigned alternate attires now display in universe mode. Now, to me, those aren't good fixes. I'm going to just say that straight away. Those are things that shouldn't have even been a problem. Kyle, the arena parts move now. They actually save, but the lighting, the actual lights that you move, do not move. Have a look at the very beginning of this video. I went straight into it at the first thing I did, and you'll see exactly what I mean. It is an absolute trash excuse of a patch right now because they're still giving us things that don't make this game playable. If you want to do this game well, this is not how you do it. The first thing, I want to change this to black straight away. I hate that weird color they use. I love a black to back mine up. What I've noticed is the nameplate doesn't actually change color either. That's crap as well. This is essentially the belt that I use for my Universal Tag Team title. I don't know why they don't have one in real life. In my opinion, they should have a Universal Tag Team title belt. The other thing I'm noticing, if I can zoom in, you'll see that a lot of the elements that I've added to them, that you can add to the front plate, have graphic issues. If you look here, see what it's like. Now, I use Photoshop a lot, right? So when I take an image offline and put it into Photoshop and try to delete the background, what will happen is sometimes you're left with a couple of little specks of color that you'll see glisten in the light. Just below the helmet, you'll see there's a dot that remains. And then just above the central bottom part of the nameplate, you'll also see a couple of dashes there that glisten in the light. And then you'll see specks all around these helmets, basically. And that happens when you don't delete everything in the logo that you're creating. I've done this myself, so I can tell you this from experience. Clearly, what they've done is they've managed to get the element on Photoshop. They've found a picture of the title. They've deleted it all. They've deleted the background, and then they must import that part into the game. This is poor importing skills. This is someone who hasn't used Photoshop well. They've been lazy and they haven't double checked to make sure that all of the background is deleted before putting it into the game. That's why you're getting these little specks on the title. It's part of the image. It's actually a part of the Roman helmet image. I hope that makes sense. It's hard to explain, but when you've used Photoshop, you know exactly what this issue is. That's why you're getting the pixel problems. It's all to do with their imports. So, did they release the DLC pack with the update? Not that I'm aware of. But you know what? Let's go and look. I'm not even going to finalize this crap, because I'm not going to play this game. It's as simple as that. I've wasted money. I'm so glad my wife isn't here to hear me saying this, but I have wasted some of our money as a family on this piece of crap game. What an excuse. Let's have a look at DLC then and see what comes up. So I'm assuming you're referring to the Wastelands. Nope. It's coming soon. So that means that there are patches to come, okay? That's the good news. The bad news is the patches are usually only there to affect the DLC that's coming. So it does look as though they're going to be patching the game continually. They have to. If they're going to release all this DLC to us, they're going to have to add more patches. So that's a bit of good news out of this. I would stick to 2K19 until they've fixed all the main problems, unless you're somebody who just likes to play the game as like you like to jump in and just play exhibition matches or whatever. If that's what you like to do, go right ahead and do it. Now, somebody did say earlier they wanted to check if 8-man... Let me just go back to the comments and see exactly what they said. 8-man match with cores still crashes during the entrances. Well, let's have a look. Let's have a normal 8-man. Now, what I'm going to do is I've got a couple of cores that I've created. Al Snow being one, which I'm going to redesign just so that you guys know. So this isn't the final Al Snow. He's going to look a lot better than that. Which ones did I make? Ignore Farouk right now. Although it looks good. Wow, that actually looks really good. I need to go back basically and finish Farouk off. I haven't touched anything when it comes to his body, but I will use Dude Love because I want to see if Dude Love's hair is still an issue on the game. Then let's have a look at someone like, I created the Disciple. I want to see what he looks like. I did actually do hair dye on the Disciple. The game has completely ignored that fact and deleted it all. The rest of them can just be whoever. And we're going to start this match. Entrances are on. If the game crashes, I'm going to disappear for a little while. I will be back as soon as I can, though, so don't worry too much about that. Let's see some of the comments that are coming in now. Just realised custom side plates aren't in this game. Yep. That's right. They're not in this game. Again, the way that my setup works, you're not going to hear the entrance music. Don't worry about that. If anything is wrong, I will let you know. If I can see something that's blatantly wrong with the game, I'll just let you know. So don't worry about that. I will try and keep you up to date as much as possible on any issues. My main concern right now is looking at Dude Love and Al Snow and the Disciple. Those are the three that I'm really focusing on. Now, the game is loading, which is good news. The bar has hit full load, so here we go. So the game starts, that's good news. I remember it crashed the last time I tried this. Jay's games, it always crashes for me. Are you on PlayStation or are you on Xbox or PC? I'm just asking in case that makes a difference. So here's my Al Snow creation.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. And from New York, weighing in at 235 pounds, and Snow.
If this one lives up to the hype, Byron, we're in for an amazing match here tonight.
There's no reason to think this one won't live up to the hype, Michael. We're looking at some of the most intense competitors in all of WWE.
Now, like I said, Al Snow, I've got some changes to do, so please don't judge my Al Snow too harshly right now. I am going to do if I even come back to the game, I'm going to just manipulate his face scan and do some new stuff to it. I mean, there's nothing new for me at the moment. Nothing looks different. Okay, Daston Drake is on PS4. Okay. Don't know why you're getting that issue, Jay's Games. Well, we do know why. It's something called 2K, isn't it? Okay, so they fixed the hair. So now you can actually download Dude Love and Mick Foley and any of those iterations. So they fixed the hair problem. That's not bad. Give them a little bit of credit for fixing the hair.
Insane, just wait until this thing kicks into high gear. You ain't seen nothing yet.
Something I'm going to tweet about right now while we wait for all of this to process.
From where I sit, he certainly seems more focused than perhaps I've ever seen him.
He's got one tall task ahead of him here, that's for sure.
So I'm tweeting about that. You guys can find all my tweets from the hashtag WWE2K20. If you want to see exactly what I'm saying, it's just basic stuff I'm already telling you and you're already watching in this feed. Thank you for everyone so far. To make your videos better, you might want to stream 1080. I enjoy your videos, my friend. Keep up your great work. I'm going to start trying 1080. Thank you, the Witchmaster. Wow. Okay.
This one promises to be absolutely
so it's
amazing.
Reset my Disciple because I changed his entrance, but that's fine.
In this case, I think we're safe.
I need to go back to do a couple of things with his hair before I unleash the Disciple back on the game. Okay, so we've seen those three. I'm gonna basically skip through the rest of the guys now.
He's the lone wolf.
I have no desire to go through the other entrances. Do you know what? What I've noticed is the game definitely looks it feels a lot smoother at the moment from what I've felt before. I'm not sure what exactly. It looks like they fixed the frame rate issues that they were having on the game. No idea who's coming out. I can't actually remember who I randomized. Okay. Wow, those laser effects look crap on this game. Skipping again. Let's get through this. Yeah, Tito Little, I would agree. It feels a lot smoother. Oh lord, I'm Al Snow, who's probably got low stats, and I haven't played this game in ages, so forgive me for being crap at the game. I'm just going to basically see what happens if I just play the game for a little bit. Let's see if there are any major glitches that appear. Just keep your eyes out. I'm trying to look myself as well. The good thing, what I'm happy about is the fact that Dude Love's hair is now fixed. So that means that I can now create Mick Foley, Cactus Jack, not worry about the hair issue. I did read that that was one of the fixes in the game, so they've definitely taken care of that.
There he goes, crashing to the floor. Textbook vertical.
There's lots of blur. I'm noticing there's a lot of blur in some of the moves. The reason that I think they've done that is to slow. That helps with frame rate issues. Referee's just taken a knock to the corner. So if you're seeing blur, it's because what they've done is they've done it because the frame rate will obviously suffer with high definition moves. That was ridiculous from Seth Rollins. And if you saw it, I think his wrist kind of broke as he landed on the outside as well.
Very effective. Oh, chin-breaking uppercut. He's bringing it back inside the ring now. Up and...
Did someone check the older games like WE13? In my game, they delete some wrestlers. Do you mean they've deleted some wrestlers from WE13? Okay, so there are some visual issues that I'm seeing. Seth Rollins, if you focus on who I am at the moment, which is Al Snow, there's some issues with Seth Rollins that don't look quite right. This is a little thing that WE2K20 did really well, but it looks like 2K20 has cocked up. 2K19 made the wrestlers actually feel like they were a part of the arena that they were fighting in. This honestly feels like I'm looking at 8 men in front of a green screen, and then the arena has been added in front of that green screen after in post-production. So what I'm saying is that it looks very fake. The wrestlers don't look like they're actually a part of the environment they're in, if that makes sense. Yeah, I don't like the way that it's blurring. It's blurring just to save frame rate, but what I'm going to do is quit it. It's definitely smoother. That would be the response I would give for that. So they've made the frame rate smoother, and they've done that with a very cheap workaround, which is if we blur the movement of the wrestlers when they're moving and doing particularly high memory-based moves. And when I say memory-based, some of the moves take a lot more memory space to do than others. For example, a punch doesn't require much memory as an animation, but some of them, the more complex moves, even something like a Hurricane Rana, that's going to require a much higher memory rate for the animation to load during the game. So what they've done is any of the high memory ones, it looks to me as though they've slowed it down so that you have a blur. And that blur means that the frame rate of the game doesn't drop, but it means that the actual image quality that you're looking at drops significantly. I hope that makes sense. Well, whatever it is, pancakes, don't worry about it. You don't want to anyway. Okay, so we've looked at a few things. Please, if you want to see anything else, keep them coming. We'll have a look at them as we go. We can see different parts of the game. One thing I've remembered, and we'll do this quickly, they have now fixed the upload issue. So, I don't know if you remember this. If you watch my last video on the last patch, you'll remember that the downloads disappeared from my upload area. So I couldn't actually see what I'd uploaded. Well, they've finally returned that. So now you can see this was my disciple that I actually put on the game with his hair, blah, blah, blah. Dude Love, you already know that I've created. Images, I've uploaded a couple of images. There you go. Some of them have actually had some decent downloads. Others, not so many. Arenas, I think I uploaded the 8 that I have. 7 out. Oh, yeah. I actually did 9 because I did my NWA Power Arena again. So you can download that whenever you want. I don't think people really are on this game at the moment, to be honest. Starcade's had loads of downloads, but unfortunately it's broken. I apologize to everyone if you've downloaded that piece of crap. That's probably going to affect the way that you download the rest of my creations. I have told you not to download my stuff anyway, until this is all confirmed to be fixed. It's embarrassing, and I'm not willing to put any more stuff out because ultimately I'm putting my name to this stuff, and it embarrasses me personally that I can't give you the arenas that I want to at the quality level that I want to. One thing I will recommend that you download are my movesets, because those weren't affected in game. So I've got tons of movesets for you. Stone Cold Steve Austin. These were all the top rated moveset downloads in 2K19 from me personally. Especially Goldberg. He had over like 1,000 downloads, I think, in the end on 2K19. Kevin Nash seems to be a popular one this year. It really seems to depend on what people want at one time. But Eddie Guerrero's movesets in the game, you can get all of those there. AR, stay with 2K19. Don't buy this game. It's still at least one patch away from being fully resolved. I will say this, they've definitely fixed stuff, but they haven't fixed some of the game breakers for me personally. And those are: Create a Championship is still trash. Create an Arena still doesn't work properly. And it's issues that I'm not prepared to play the game with. So I'll give you an example actually. Let's go to... You all saw my WrestleMania 14 Arena earlier in this video. If you didn't, you're about to, so don't worry. We're going to have a normal match. And again, I think I'm going to use... I love the fact that they fixed his hair at least. So I'm going to fix that. Let's go to Hollywood Hogan. Now, let's see. Yep. Okay, so this is so weird. His NWO attire is on it. So let's show you Hollywood Hogan's NWO attire. We're going to select an arena. Let's go to one of my custom bad boys. Let's have a look at WrestleMania 14. No title matches on. Actually, I don't want to be Dude Love. Oh, who cares? So we're going to start this. We're going to have a look. You're going to get to see all of my WrestleMania 14 show. Again, you can download this if you want, but just remember, it's probably not working. This is a good test, though, to see if it works in-game. Perhaps they have fixed it and it just looks wrong within the Create an Arena mode. We'll find out very, very shortly on that one. This is the Hollywood Hogan outfit that I designed. It looks like they've sorted out the bandana, but I'm saying that now looking at it from here. We will find out once we see it in the game. As you can see, a normal exhibition match is taking a very, very long time to load up. This is something that I get very annoyed about. Kid Virus, any improvements? There are some. The gameplay feels smoother. Obviously, they have added Create a Championship. They have made fixes to the game. But the problem is that a lot of those fixes don't actually address the main or core problems that people were having. And we're just testing out the arena issue at the moment. So the lights work on the WrestleMania thing, which looks awesome. That now looks the way that I wanted it to. Very happy about that. The visual look of the arena is wrong. It's way too black. It shouldn't be this dark. So they haven't fixed that. As you can see, the lights have worked there. What I'm looking for is... Okay, so... When we go into the arena itself, it looks like they have actually fixed that lighting issue that you saw earlier in the video. That's good news. That means that you can download it and it will work fine for you. So enjoy WrestleMania 14's arena. I'm going to have to change the visual look of it, though. It looks dreadful at the moment. The red looks washed out on the ropes. I'll work all that out.
He's able to bounce back as if nothing happened.
As we go, but as you can see, everything else is in there. I've uploaded the WF logos. They're on the turnbuckles now. Let's have a look at Hollywood Hogan. You're going to get to see my Hollywood Hogan now, created from scratch with elements that I found. Okay, so they've made improvements to his clothing. It still clips just at the top of the belt. You'll see that it clips every now and then, just there. But overall, that's definitely a big improvement. The next issue that we're going to see, Kid Virus, they have sorted that out. And if you think I'm shouting, I apologize. It's because all I can hear in my head is the NWO music. So you guys can't hear it, but I can. So what we want to see here is whether Hulk Hogan magically gets his vest and the feather boa things back and rips them off. So we're just going to wait and see if that comes up. Yep, it does. It's still broken. Morons. 2K morons. How stupid. A 2K, seriously?
One of the only superstars to hold both the WCW World Heavyweight Championship and the
So apart from that, everything actually looks pretty good. Skip the scene. I'm fed up of having the music in my ears. So, okay, so we know that there are some clothing issues that have now been resolved. I think the game runs a lot smoother. It certainly is playing smoother than it did before. It doesn't feel like it's a beta. The ring ropes do not look like that on my creation, so there's clearly an issue there. The visual condition of the arena is wrong, by the way. It should be a lot different to this, but that's fine. Other than that, right now, I'm happy with Hogan's hat. The bandana looks like it's resolved. There's no hair clipping through it anymore. I'm actually going to have a look at a couple of other creations, and I'll show you the alternate attires I've got now. So I'm going to skip this. So that's good news in some senses, that the Create an Arena does actually look like it works. It's just that when you're in the Create an Arena itself, it still appears broken, but actually once you've downloaded it, everything works fine. So you can go and download all my stuff now without worrying about the arenas looking as bad as they were. AR, I agree with you. The old controls are still better for me. I still think they're better. Is the walls fixed in Backstage Brawl? Is the highlight reel still 8 seconds? I'm actually not sure on either of those. So we're going to have a look, I think. I just want to look at one creation that I did with my superstar. I want to show you some of the alternate attires that I've created and then have a look at those alternate attires. One thing I've heard is that in Universe Mode, the alternate attire now appears when you want it to. So here are all my alternate attires. By the way, please forgive me, Lance Storm is still being created. I'm probably going to go back and start him again, actually. Farouk, I literally just did the face scan. There's nothing else to Farouk. Paul Orndorff, I've added into the game. He looks pretty good. I actually wanted to upload Paul. I just haven't yet because of how trash the game is. Let's look at Macho Man. So I did an NWO version of Macho Man, for those of you who don't know. Yeah, we've still got this weird issue. They haven't fixed... You can see the bottom of the feet with the tassels on the boots. They're invisibly flaying outwards for some reason. I don't know why they're doing that. It's like there's an invisible thick piece of material there and it just looks ridiculous. I don't get it at all. Other than that, everything else is looking relatively okay. Let's look at the entrance attire, because if you remember my last video, the hat and the bandana looked absolutely disgusting to the point that I didn't want to use it. Okay, so So they fixed the bandana, which is good news. They have fixed the hair glitching issues, but it looks very weird. It looks like the bandana itself has moved up. That's okay. It's also moved all my logos up. Again, that's not too bad. I can sort that stuff out. If I go into clothing and upper body and all that stuff, all I need to do essentially is edit. And I can just reapply everything I've got. It's actually better because that image was way too big before, and now I can actually make it nice and small. Get it about right. I apologize, I'm doing this right in front of you. I'd love to know if opacity works now. Yes, it does. That's good. I always like opacity. I always add a bit of opacity. I think it adds, just helps whatever you're putting on to look a little bit better. Still, I don't like the way this image uploaded. In 2K19, I uploaded the same Madness image, and it looked really great. Here, it's stretching around some areas. I'm not happy about that. I'll probably come back and address those issues another time. But for now, I just want to see if I can edit some of the main parts of this. Also, it's a good chance for me to show you some of the creations I've made. Obviously, the Madness goes a lot further over his skull cap, but unfortunately, as you can see, the game doesn't want that to happen. So I'm going to put it about there so we don't lose anything. So that's Macho Man done there. So it looks all right. I'm not convinced that it's brilliant. They've definitely made good additions, as you can see. So look at the boots and look at the tassels on the boots comparing the ring attire to the entrance attire. You can see that there's a difference. For some reason, there's something within the entrance attire that is creating the flare that you're seeing at the top. Don't know why that's happening. Must be an entrance issue, because that you can see drops flat and is fine. Here, for some reason, it's acting like there's some sort of material under it that's making it flare out. So overall, that looks better. Macho Man's hair looks a bit different, you know. I'm not sure about that, but that looks a little bit different to me. I don't know why, but the hair just looks a little bit different. Anyway, we're going to accept these and move out. As you can see, the flaring comes back when I go into the entrance attire, which is interesting, because in the photo it doesn't look like it's a problem. So what else would you guys like me to look at? So there's highlight reel and there's walls in the back. So let's go to the walls in the backstage area. Not sure what you mean by the backstage area and the walls. I'm assuming something crazy happens. You're going to have to guide me through this one as we play a backstage brawl. Not even bothered who it is. Entrance is on in a backstage brawl. Custom attires in universe mode. Oh, we can have a look at that. I've heard from several people that that is fixed, so I actually believe that that is now resolved. Okay, so you're gonna have to explain what the wall issue is.
Backstage. It looks like we have a brawl on our hands.
Okay, I'm assuming you want me to maybe walk around the backstage area.
I wouldn't be surprised if
Oh, the visual effects in the room. So let's go and look at the rooms then.
Any equipment back there.
I've always hated the backstage area since they added it. Even in 2K19, it's very boring. I get what they're trying to do with it, but like, I don't know. I'm just not impressed. The visuals on the shadows are also terrible on this game. Let's see if that throws him through the door. Okay, I need to stop walking into electrical boxes. Okay, so... Oh dear, there's a bit of... Again, there's blurring. So, like I said, that blurring is happening because they're trying to make sure that there aren't any...
The problem, Michael, is Drew McIntyre can deliver.
They're trying to make sure that there are no frame rate issues, which is why it blurs. But the visuals are definitely still off.
You cannot afford to fall on in this match.
Sound-wise, in my ears, it actually sounds a lot better than last year.
Schoolboy pinning combination.
Oh, maybe not.
Just trying to beat up Drew McIntyre, sorry. So as you can see, let's try and walk over here and see what else is going on. Stephanie McMahon randomly in the office. I always wish they just took them guys out. I want to see if I can try and break the table, but clearly not. The room doesn't... I mean, the room just looks bad graphically, but that's That's fair enough. I can understand why they do that. They just can't be bothered, basically, to make a nice, high-resolution area to the game. That didn't make any noise when he hit his head on the chair. That's disappointing. I have no idea what his movesets are, by the way.
Huge overhead belly to belly.
I'm just trying to get him up to the point of doing his finisher, and then I can finish him off. But yeah, I agree. The visuals aren't great. The door is clipping in and out, if you notice, on the right-hand side. That's not good. That's actually dreadful. Shouldn't do that.
Reversal. Seems like we're back where we began, Michael.
Finally remembered how to do reversals. There are lines on the wall. On the left wall, I can see lines up and down. Oh dear, that was the worst visual I've seen. I just threw him into an invisible wall there. So it's just not great. I mean, it was better last year, put it that way. I mean, what is his leg hanging on there? There's nothing there. So, again, it looks like there are some issues, clearly. I'm just going to keep going until I can finish this one off. Yeah, there's no noise being made when he's hitting the chair, which is a really poor sound issue. Can you walk in the other rooms? Yes. Roman Reigns is doing loads of moves at the moment. Let's go and walk in some other rooms then. Walk down the corridor. Let's go left first. I'm going to run. Why not? So, the lighting I've got an issue with on this game. Oh my word, this is dreadful. Look at that. What a crap game. So yeah, there are visual issues in this backstage area. 100%. You just saw them. Just going to knock out Mr. McIntyre. Even it's the shadowing. The shadowing is all of it is to do with the lighting. If you're wondering what's causing all of these issues, it's the lighting that's the problem. Visual Concepts clearly don't know what they're doing with lighting, which is ironic because their name is Visual Concepts, and lighting is a visual concept that you would think they would be able to sort out. Anyway, let's go and see other rooms. Loading is okay there, going around the corner. Don't think I can go in this room. I'm playing now from memory of what is around. So there's the eating area. Can I pick anything up? Oh. I've never understood why you can't pick anything up. Just get Drew McIntyre falling over. Let's go further down here then. See what's down the corridor. Looks like Ricochet is over there. Why a security guard is taking a picture of Ricochet is beyond me, but he is. Oh, what's in here? Okay, so we've got a changing room. Great. This looks nice. There's a little running machine. I'm just going to wait for Drew to get into the room and then we can continue. Let's throw him against some stuff. This room seems okay. It's a little bit dark. Again, the shadowing is the problem. It's all to do with the lighting.
Drew McIntyre's in trouble.
And down with the suplex.
Oh, that little bit of visual blurring there wasn't nice. Let's go right down the end now. Ricochet running away with the security guard. Who's in this room? What employee are we going to see at their desk in here? Okay, so there's no one in here? There's got to be somebody. Okay, no one in this room. Wasn't there a glitch with the sofa, by the way? Didn't something happen with the sofa in this room? I seem to remember there being a problem there. Overall, it looks okay. It's just like standard. Standard to me, if you're not English, standard just kind of means normal. Like it's what you would expect the game to be.
Schoolboy takedown.
I'm about to finish this match up because I'm not really impressed with everything I've seen. It's okay, but it's just not great. That's all I can say. Oh, he's reversed the spear. That's actually something that I want to do right now. I'm going to have a look and see if we can change some of the attribute settings in the game, because I know that's something they haven't fixed since the beginning. Sorry, I've just gone one too many steps out. So we're going to have a look and see if we can change some of the settings in the game and if it actually works this time. So if I go to options, I believe It should be gameplay. I've changed some of this because I was trying to get the Fiend. Do you know what I haven't seen yet? I haven't seen Blood. AI finisher reversal rate. Okay, so it does look like that worked. I changed all this to see if it would work. I can't say that the AI was reversing that much, but they definitely reversed my finisher straight away. So we're going to have a look at this. Maybe this needs to be I mean, I'm going to readjust this in my own time, but I was doing that just for a test so that you know. I wasn't trying to make the game as hard as possible. Garrick Parham, explain to me why my game is still broken. Universe mode, I tried custom arena, superstars and title, and when it was loading up, my game crashed again, still getting the blue screen. I don't know why your game's crashing. I mean, I don't even think 2K know why your game's crashing. And that's the problem. Even the people who made this game don't know why there are problems. Just poor development, unfortunately, is all I can say to you. I'm sorry that you're getting that. I don't play the game, so it doesn't really affect me at the moment. But I was hoping that this would fix it and that I would actually get to play more games because I've planned loads of videos to create and I can't create any of those videos until all of this is resolved. Anyway, does it still crash when previewing movesets on community creations? Well, let's have a look. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll preview... It's a bit egotistical, but I'm going to preview one of my own. Wow, some of these have had loads of downloads. Like I said, I haven't been playing this game at all, so I really don't know where everything's at and what's going on. I simply haven't come to the... Wow, loads of moveset downloads. That's impressive. Vader, that Vader looks pretty decent. I believe that's Razorback's DDP. You should download him. Razorback's been doing awesome, by the way. If you don't know who he is, go and look at his stuff. It's incredible. He always does a good job, but like, I've been impressed with his patience in this game. I do not have his level of patience. So let's just look at one of them. Let's go to this DDP. This is a dreadful DDP. Sorry for that person, but what I want anyway, what I want to do now. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore on this game. Let's search for movesets is what you wanted. Let's go and see movesets. That would explain why the download rates are so high. Okay, movesets then. Let's have a look at most downloaded, see what's up. This is so funny. People have just done like default characters. This guy doesn't even have a picture. What's happened here? Yeah, so you can see like the movesets don't tend to get much love, even though for me I think it's actually a really important part of the game. They only get like... You'll be fortunate if you see downloads in the thousands when it comes to movesets. I'm just going to see if I can find some of mine. I know that I think my highest one is in like the 30s, so it's probably going to be page 4 or something. This is so poor though, seeing all these. Razorback did a Goldberg moveset. Not going to hate him for ripping off mine. I'm just joking, Razorback, if you hear that. Again, he's done a few. He's going to get loads of downloads this year because he's probably the only real creator. What the heck is that? That's like Mr. Perfect on steroids. I'm definitely going to try and just preview any now. I'm bored. Let's go and just preview. Let's find somebody I actually like. Let's preview this Randy Orton. So I'm previewing it. It's not crashing. Nothing's going on. Jimbo's Gaming Channel. Hi. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. So there you go at the moment. That doesn't crash. That's good to know. So they have fixed that at least. Like I said, when it comes to move sets, I'm obviously going to promote my own stuff on the game. It's easy to find me. I wouldn't download anything I've made, okay? I'm warning you now. Don't download anything I've made except for movesets and Money in the Bank briefcases, if you even want those things. My movesets are all here. They were on 2K19. These were the most popular versions of each wrestler that I had in 2K19 in the whole community on PlayStation, actually. And so I've put them back on the game for you all. So it's exactly the same movesets, all back on the game, ready to go. Money in the Banks are the only other thing I'd recommend that you download. My WCW one was popular last year. ECW should have been popular and it wasn't. It seems like it's a bit more popular this year. And that's it. And then I just create any other random stuff that I can think of while I'm at it. So, shows, I guess you can download them if you want, but I'm not losing any sleep if you don't. Starcade, as usual, is one of my bigger downloads, but with less people playing the game, I'm just not getting as many downloads now. And I'm okay with that. It really doesn't bother me this year that I'm not getting big downloads. Once the game came out, I just kind of gave up all hope of this game being any good. You've had 3 crashes. Where has your game crashed? I'd love to know. Would really love to know where those crashes have happened. Sorry, I just moved forwards then. I was trying to look at something on my PlayStation. So yeah, we're here all day, people. I can stay on as long as necessary. So I'm just happy to wait for anything that you guys want to look at. Let's see if we can find out some more issues. Let's go into universe mode. As I said, I've not done anything on my universe mode so far. So it's still literally at week 1. So if you want to see anything, let me know and I can change it. Such a crap game. That's all I'm saying right now, is that this game has just been a waste of everybody's time and money. I think we've all kind of been conned out of our pockets. Let me see something actually with the roster, because the roster is something I read somebody saying earlier. Let's see if we can find roster. Again, I'm not using this game much, so I'm actually not sure what I'm doing right now. So Scott Hall, can I edit? Okay, I can edit. Okay, so you can now switch it to his whatever attire. There we go. Save that. So that's good. You can save the roster attires now, which is great, because for me, Scott Hall wears the black and white. I don't like him wearing the red and black outside as colours, because his main colour code was, his main colour scheme was black and white, because he wasn't always in the outsiders. Yes, unfortunately, Carmilla, that's exactly what has happened. Instead of getting wrestlers, we've got 10 versions of every single person that we don't need. Let's have a look here and see who else there is. So Kevin Nash, I've done changes to Kevin Nash. Let's show you Kevin Nash's attire. Oh, so Kevin Nash has already changed. That's his alternate attire that I wanted. And then we've got... Who else did I change? Randy Savage. That's good, because Randy Savage looks like an idiot in his green trunks when I've got his Madness attire on the game. There you go. Like I said, I'm probably not going to change any of this, to be honest. I'm not going to come back in. I'm not going to play this game. I have been playing WE2K19 more than I have WE2K20. Belts, if you see any new ones, let me know, but I highly doubt they've added titles, even though they should have. The 24/7 title should have been added to the game, in my opinion. I think with the upload, with the addition of Creator Championship, they actually should have given us at least the parts to those new titles. I don't know why they haven't done that, because it would have been possible based on how crap their uploads were. So that's it for the universe mode. I think if you've got any questions in these modes, as I've always said, let me know, let's talk, let's have a look at it, and let's see what's in the game. Let's go through things here. My player, I've not even done, so it's probably going to start the mode and I'm just going to back out because it's boring. I think ever since I saw the preview of this mode, I was just disgusted at how poor it is. So, what else can we look at, guys? This is down to you. 2K Central. Got originals, the towers. I know nothing about this, so this is what it is. You can see all of these towers. Legends are all here. I like that they've divided them. Oh my gosh, the hair still looks disgusting on this game. They've definitely changed Randy Savage's hair. I'm telling you that right now. Savage's hair has definitely changed. 100% his hair has changed. They've clearly been in and addressed some of the hair. Let's go and check some of the other wrestlers with bad haircuts and see if they've changed any of those things around. The big one I always laugh at is Ricky Steamboat. Still dreadful. Still got his bowl cut. Robert Roode there with his moustache. I'm going to go down. I mean, poor Samir Singh still looks like he's freaked out about something. I'm just looking at hair. Just have a look. If you see anything that you're like, oh, that hair looks new, let me know in the comments. The Warriors still looks trash. I feel so bad because we had a great roster. There are some guys on this game they've added that have been brilliant. But look at Becky Lynch's hair. It still looks so weird. Her bottom lip looks really fat as well. It just, to me, that does not look anything like Becky Lynch. That's all I'm saying. Like, none of them really look like Becky. We've got 3 Baileys, and none of them with her new haircut. Again, this just feeds into the argument that they need to add updates for some of the roster members periodically on the game. Why we've got so many Charlotte Flairs is beyond me. China still looks weird. Bunch of these guys just look odd. Edge still looks very strange. So, for those of you who don't know, we tried to see if Hulk Hogan's bandana would come off. They've changed the game so that you cannot delete. I repeat, you cannot remove Hulk Hogan's bandana in the game anymore. I believe that that'll be the same with Mankind's mask, but we've already worked out how to do that. In fact, let's go and check Mankind's mask next and see if we can delete that. Actually, I should have stayed where I was. I want to see if I can delete it. That's all I want to see. If we can still do that little workaround to get rid of his mask so that we can create Mick Foley and Cactus Jack, etc., etc., that would be awesome. I don't even want to tell you what I think of these. These characters are a joke. They do. I mean, they look worse than Sims characters. That's the worst part of it. They just look... And I've given them a lot of credit, by the way. If you've watched the game, if you've watched some of my other videos, as much as I've trashed them, there are some positive elements that I have given them credit for. But unfortunately, overall, this is the worst game that I've ever played for this series. So I still can't delete Mankind's mask, okay? Now, what I used to do was go into here and give him one of these masks. I think it might have been this mask. And when I accepted it, it would say, okay, so it doesn't give me the option anymore. I think they've taken out the glitch that actually lets you take Mankind's mask off, which is absolutely disgusting if that's what they've done. That is a slap in the face to do that. Yep. So now you can add the mask, but it doesn't delete Mankind's under mask. It keeps it on, which is terrible. Let's see if there's anything else I can add. Maybe it's in... Maybe I can find something somewhere. Let's go to... Nope, these are designs rather than the mask itself. As you can see, I can't add any other masks. It was definitely in headgear before. I would randomize it like this. And then we would randomize it until I found one that actually caused an issue. I can try it again. I've got no problem doing that. Seeing if it manages to randomize the mask that we need in order to get what we want. I'm seeing some things I haven't seen before with hats and stuff. Never noticed any of these. But the one I'm looking for is like a demon style mask. I actually think they've deleted it, by the way. It looks to me like they've deleted the masks that were causing the problems, instead of just giving us the option that everybody wanted, which was a delete button so that Mankind doesn't always have to wear his mask. That's bad for anybody who hasn't got Dude Love at the moment. It's good news to know, though, that I have already uploaded that Dude Love that you need. So you can simply go into Community Creations and upload or download the Dude Love that you want. I'm still going to create Cactus Jack and others in my game as well. This randomization is terrible. Not getting any of the ones that I want. They look like... It definitely looks like they've added new hats, though. There's loads of new headgear in here that I'm noticing that wasn't on it before. It looks to me like they've simply replaced stuff that they've taken out with new masks. Ooh. Don't remember that one. Maybe that was in there and I just didn't notice. But all of the Lucha masks have gone. I don't know if anybody's noticed that. That's the Shockmaster for you old school wrestling fans. Yeah, I haven't seen a single Lucha mask yet. Is that a Lucha mask? That looks more like an Executioner's mask. But I haven't seen any actual Lucha masks, which it just looks to me like they've taken it out of the game. What on earth is this thing? Let's try this. Yep, so as you can see, they've removed the glitch that was helping us to remove Mankind's mask. Good job, 2K. You've managed to take out one of the good things that you'd created and messed up. At this point, do you think just making my own universe mode on the regular mode will be better? I'm at this... Re-download it and try it that way. Garrick, I don't fully understand what you're saying. But I wouldn't change anything, essentially. I mean, create a superstar. We can go in there now and we'll have a look at some stuff. They did improve it last time. I can't say that it was perfect, but they did improve it. I can certainly jump in one of my superstars and show you what I'm doing. Show you, like, the people I have. They should add the Dudley Boys. Of course they should. But then Bubba Ray is signed to a different company, which is the problem on that one. No, I want to show you somebody who's actually finished. Let's show you the Paul Orndorff that I've made. Oh, good question about cheek sliders. So, just so you know, I'm very impressed with my Paul Orndorff. I think he looks really great. I've even managed to create the little Mr. Wonderful that he has on the back of his trunks. This isn't available for download because I haven't played the game enough to actually make him available for download, but maybe I'll put him on right now. I actually also want to do like the movesets and stuff for Paul, which I haven't done so far. Let's have a look, Steve, Monday. Let's see if we can look at these cheek sliders. I think he looks really good, my Paul Orndorff, but that's maybe just me being cocky. Silver King, the question marks are there. I don't know what the question marks are for. Oh, I want to buy this game now, but I have 2K19. Should I buy? Do not buy 2K19. Do not buy 2K20. That's my tip. Stick with 2K19. It's probably cheaper to buy now anyway. I would simply stick with that until... By the time that they fix all the problems, the game's going to be like $10. So I would just wait, personally. I don't think the game's good enough. I don't think that the issues have really been resolved. It's getting there. There are certainly things that they're improving, but at the moment, it's still very much a disaster. I hope that answers your question. So let's go to look at the cheeks now. Cheeks. So we've got depth and height. That's all we have. And this is it. That's all that we've got. I think when you say the cheek problem, do you mean that when you would do one cheek, the other cheek goes the opposite way? Yeah, it's still not addressed. So the cheek's still broken, which is crazy. Basically what it means is that it's reversing. So one side shrinks inwards and the other side puffs outwards instead of it all going the way that you want. Kyle Miller, $20 or on... There you go. Yeah, I just wouldn't bother. Honestly, it's just a dreadful game. Right now, it's... Oh, I think I like the height better when it's lower. Let's do it about 25. I've actually made a change to my core right in front of your very eyes. Yeah, I was really looking forward this year to the game as well. I'd put in a lot of more work. I wanted to do more cores. Actually, what I wanted to do was make the cores that I had look a lot better. And I think, for example, Paul Orndorff, I was really happy. I was ready to release Paul Orndorff's core. But I'm just annoyed by how crap the game is. And it's got to the point where I'm like, I'm not prepared now to put these things out onto download. It scares me to think how 2K21 is going to look. Like, literally scares me to think of how that game's going to look. It's not going to be good. That's what I will say straight off the bat. Has the lighting for Created Arenas been fixed? There was a weird brightness to them when I last played. No, the lighting is broken in the whole game. It's not just actually in the Creating Arena. If we had a look at a backstage brawl earlier, and in the backstage brawl, you could see that the shadowing was causing issues. And it's the lighting in general in this game that has been broken since day one. In fact, I was one of the few people who was arguing when 2K started releasing the trailers. I was one of the few people, certainly on Twitter, who was actually saying the lighting looks broken, and I can say this as a blanket statement, all of the big YouTubers were saying there's nothing wrong with the lighting. And I was saying I've worked in video production before myself, not in video games, but just in video production. There is something wrong with the lighting. And finally, they all came round once the game had been released, and we all found out there was indeed problems with the lighting. They don't know what they're doing with lighting. That's the problem. Yeah, I'll show you. There's no point in me just saying this stuff when I can show you. I apologize for that. I also want to show you some of the stuff I've created as well. I want to give you some positives out of this, because it annoys me that I'm always being negative about this game. Last year, I was way more positive about 2K19. You only have to go and look at the amount of videos I made for the game to know that I was a lot more into 2K19 than 2K20. Ironically, I've got more views for the 2K20 stuff than I have 2K19, where I put in more work. But that's life, I guess. So let's have a look at Starcade. So what I'll say is, before I go in, have a look at the preview image. Look at how bright that preview image is. You can see the fog is very heavy. So when I go into Edit Arena, it's me just slapping my feet on the floor, by the way. You can see that it goes instantly to like this pitch black arena. Now, the good news is they fixed the stupid Titantron issue. I'm happy about that. that means that now when you download Starcade 97 from me, you're going to get the exact arena that you need. The problem is that you're going to have to go into the visual condition, click X, to see how I actually set it up visually. And that added fog. They have changed the fog. I've said this before. They've changed it a lot. I'm now having to add a lot more fog to the game because they've changed something to do with it. What's weird is that they've changed it, but they haven't fixed it. That's what annoys me the most. What I'm also going to do here quickly is change the movie display. I'm going to make it as black as possible so it blends in, because the fog has brought it out, basically. Save that. So my Starcade 97 arena is done. You can get that if you want. It's already available for download. The other ones that look wrong at the moment, Survivor Series is one that I keep getting a problem with. Survivor Series 98. Just going to wait for this to load, and then hopefully you'll see the problems. Again, way too dark. The first thing I'm going to do, visual condition, that hasn't even changed it. So they haven't, there you go. There is a bit of a change, but it's not much. Again, I'm going to lift the lighting up a little bit there, because once again, they've changed a load of stuff and it hasn't worked. The lighting's all fine in the arena, but there you go. You can see that the red spotlights from that staging there, it's not actually the lighting rig. It's the actual beams of light themselves that have disappeared. In fact, that's what's wrong with the game. It's the beams of light from the spotlights that are actually being removed. So what you're seeing is in the game, you're seeing the little spotlights, but there's no actual light coming from them or emanating from them. So I don't know what to tell you. That's the problem with this game. And for me, it's not a deal breaker now. Like, I know I can create stuff, which is great. The deal breaker for me is the visual conditioning. If I can't change the visual conditioning and make the arena look lighter and brighter, then I have an issue with that. Because what you're doing is you're disabling me as a creator to be able to make the most authentic arena that you guys need and want. And that puts me off, because that gives my name a bad reputation. That's the way I see it as a creator in the game. And again, the beams of light aren't following the actual light sources anymore. That's the problem with the game at the moment. Other than that, it looks fine. And as you can see, visual condition will lift it. Again, visual conditions lifted it up a little bit. Still looks wrong. Still, I'm going to take the fog back up just a little bit. I don't know why they've changed all this. It's very annoying that they've changed it after so much has been removed from the game. Contrast takes it down, so I'm going to take that down a little bit as well. I'm also going to change the rope color, because I noticed in the video, I mean, here it looks like the rope color is exactly the red that it should be. For some reason, when I played it in the game, the lighting made it look like it was almost a pale pink rather than a red, which I don't understand. But just so you can see, clearly I've used a color red. And the game has crashed.